you know.
Hey, Governor. Today we decided to be gay, apparently.
Every single day, if you could click off of this. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the It's the podcast, the only podcast in Britain that won't take your mum's crumpets.
The only podcast in Britain that's not fucking in Britain.
I am Sir Jiggly Wiggly Pants.
I'm Caden.
They found me on the highway. Don't worry about it.
This is Matt.
Yes.
What's up, guys? We know it's been a minute. We've been tired and busy. And Diablo came out. So that's fun. But, anyways, today's one of those days we decided we were going to sit down and make the episode. And so, Melissa, this one's to you. You're probably the only one watching left.
Probably. We've lost everybody else.
I can't lose you. I keep dropping your love on the side of the road and you won't go away. So, anyways, today, you know the drill. Today is the improv episode, so we're basically just gonna go off the cuff and talk as long as our little heart's content, and that's what we're gonna roll with. So, anyways, boys, how are you guys liking it so far?
I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Um,
I mean, yeah, I've been having a blast with the game, honestly. So
yeah, this like I said, our podcast is literally all about this shit.
okay, fair enough.
So that's what I'm saying. You can talk plainly as you want to speak. We're not putting on a show. We never do. We make that very clear to
Fair
our
enough.
audience. So that's what I'm saying. You can be chill. Just talk about anything. If you need the table to move away from you, by the way, there's one.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's kind of the thing is that, yeah, aside from the server issues, it's actually
So I haven't had the server issues yet.
you probably haven't played enough to experience it.
I got kicked once. But
Yeah, I've had issues
I mean-
where I got kicked and then like banned from my own server.
yeah, but I mean, the game looks awesome.
It looks so good. I was surprised. I'm
It's,
sure it looks great on yours too.
I'm surprised that I'm actually enjoying this type of gameplay as much as I am.
That's why I was like suggesting it to you, is because of the fact that I was like, hey, you should try this. And you're like, what is it? I'm like, just try it. Come on, man. Just trust me on this one. And you're like, fuck, you ain't steered me wrong yet, so I'll trust you. But I knew this one was going to be it. I knew it. Because, God, how much shit did Blizzard bang out time after
Right.
time?
Also, how many years has this game been in the making?
Overwatch 2 was probably in the making since Overwatch 1, but that's a piece of shit.
Okay, you got a point there.
And Diablo Immortal exists.
Does it though?
Oh, it should.
It's good. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can talk about in the making all you want. Fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean, this is an actually fucking good game.
It is really good.
And it's
Does
big.
it is huge. It is massive. But do you get the full ultrawide support?
Uh-huh.
You get full. Holy shit! So he has a 31:9 aspect ratio.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, like his is a 49-inch ultrawide.
Okay.
It is basically two of mine put together, but 1440p.
Okay.
I actually sold that monitor to him to get that.
Hmm.
Yep. I said I'll give you a deal on it. What did I charge you for it? It was
900.
it wasn't dick. Yeah, it wasn't dick. I just said come grab it.
Fuck, that's what you can get them for nowadays.
Yeah. Well, it's the last generation because now you have the 8K OLED. We're not gonna go on that tangent again. I'm sorry. No, we're not gonna do it. We're not. We're not gonna fucking do it. We just physically can't. Some computer news. So, how me and you were talking about the 90-degree adapter that Thermaltake and Cable Mod are making for the 4090. Those are not catching on fire.
Nice!
Like, I'm just like so done. I'm so done. Like
This new generation should not fucking
exists.
exist right now.
It just should not. I was so excited for that because me and you were like, fuck yeah, Corsair will step in, Cable Mod will step in and do the right thing. They're
Nope.
validating.
They fucked the
Me and
Just like
Caden.
fucking Asus's response.
Oh my god. Yeah. Shit happened.
Yeah, no, they fucking first came out, oh yeah, shit happened. And then it took a fucking complete 180. And they're like, yeah, that's all included into under warranty now. Even if you overclocked it, it's under warranty.
Yeah.
After they realized how many fucking people were returning all of their motherboards.
I mean, I guess we can kind of talk about this too, you if you're aware of the situation. So the new generation, like kind of how you and I were talking about your specs. So to be fair, if you don't know, he is running two 1080 Ti's in his rig. His is a little bit older. It's fine. Like me and you talk several times, whatever gets you by. So we've talked about the new generation because me and Caden like legitimately together want to build a test bench. We want to so bad to the point where we have like 3 videos of looking up cases. But we want to do a AM5 so bad. Well, he reps EVGA, which is fine. They still make motherboards, but they don't make graphics cards. Well, ROG is good too, or was. So ROG, as a manufacturer, released their top 3 motherboards with a defect where it will overclock your CPU to the point where it is melting.
Yeah, there's no voltage regulation.
None. Like there are
It's only with the AMD.
It is only with AM5. Yep. Only with AM5.
Not
Right.
Intel.
Kill AMD or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
But let me make this clear to you. There are bubbles on the bottom where the pins are. Bubbles. That's how hot it's getting. It is all the motherboard's fault.
Huh.
It's not that the fucking, 7950 XT was a piece of shit too, in its own right. But
It wasn't a piece of shit, it was just a disappointment.
it was a disappointment. And the fact that, if you downloaded the wrong version of Ryzen Master, it wouldn't work because it had the 3DB cache. And then the graphics cards were just wow. Yeah. Like I said, Caden is intermediate. He's not experienced, but he knows a lot about shit when it comes to everything. He could tell you what his CPU runs at as far as clock speed. He can tell you what the next generation that he wants as far as clock speeds are, and the RAM he wants is speed and shit. So he's intermediate, like by far. But that's the thing is like we talk about it because people who are novices they have no idea what these numbers mean, and they're getting fucked at every corner because imagine you go out and buy a $7,000 brand new rig for your CPU to melt, and then your 4090 to catch on fire because the voltage regulator inside of your fucking cable is fucking bent 20 degrees.
Yeah, that would suck. Well, really, it would suck.
And that's kind of the point of where we're at. We talked about this and we have beat this horse, but that's what's been happening. Like, there are, I think recently it was up to 50,000 RTX 4090s that have been returned because they melted. And just Asus, on the topic that we talked about, how he's talking about the reason that it was such a big deal is because there are 20,000 Asus boards that have melted AM5 chips. Yeah. Like,
So, on top of the $1,200 you just paid for your motherboard, that's another
$2,000 for a graphics card easily.
No, going for
The 4090s are 2,000 now. Because,
not the graphics card, but the CPU.
well, the CPU,
Another $900.
the CPU was $800, $900. Yeah, on top of the
And then on top of that, getting your 4090 to catch up. Yeah, that's a pretty fucking penny to just. Yeah, we don't really care.
yeah, we'd like watch it disintegrate. And the problem was is Asus would say, no, it's not a warranty. Because you enable DOCP. Which is basically the standard overclock. It is not you fucking with it. It is just on your motherboard by default. So it is a setting that ROG put on their motherboard for you to enable. And they're blaming you for it. And saying it's void. And then, like he said, a month later, because 20,000 motherboards came out of the woodwork, they're like, oh yeah, even if it's overclocked, it's under warranty. But it's not. And you're gonna fuck you. Yep.
Dog.
You know what it is. It's the cat.
Oh, that's your cat?
Yeah, trying to get in.
She is. She wants to know what the fuck's going on.
Sad. That you, her
It's,
It sounded more like a dog than a cat.
she's just scratching at the door.
She wants it. I've been mocking her. She needs to. But no, so that's like we've discussed this because of the fact that like we've had this vision of what we want to do for a test bench for so long. And we know what we want to do. We actually found a test bench that's just oh my god, it's perfect. It's so good. It's only 170, wasn't it? It wasn't even that
I think
much.
so.
It was super cheap. We could use it to test bench anything that we wanted to. Well, because one of the things that we have is we have an issue where for some reason our 5950Xs, which are right AM4, so they're last generations, they run hot. Like so much so that people don't understand why they're running hot.
They also run higher on the clock speed than what they're supposed to out of the box. Stock out of the box, they just ran higher.
Anybody know why?
Well, they maintain boost clocks. There is a possibility that it can get to 4.9, but ours stays at 4.9, like just flat out. There is no like 3.2. It is just 4.9.
No, mine sits at 4.2, 4.3.
Mine just goes
Your
to
sets 4.9.
mine sits at 4.9. Like it just goes. And people can't understand it because everyone's like, oh yeah, all you need is a 2-fan rad. Because me and him were doing research for his build, and everyone's like, yeah, you need a 2-fan rad. And he's like, I see how yours is, and I don't think so. I really don't think so. His does run cooler than mine because I gave him an AIO that wouldn't work for mine. Like it just wouldn't. He's seen my PC overheat with that AIO. He has seen it. It works for him just fine. But yeah, no, we have this issue where it just so it runs hotter because it maintains the boost clocks and stuff like that, which is fine. It's not a huge deal, but it's an anomaly. Because most people are literally getting 3.4. And it boosts to 4.9. Ours are just full tilt all day. And we didn't mess with the overclocks on it. Me and Kate like, we'll fuck with a GPU overclock all day. We'll sit there and fuck with it, make it go hard, burn, melt, whatever. It's not a huge deal. CPUs, we won't. Because it's like we said, 3060 is $200. I can turn it on again. CPU is not $200. Nope, not doing that shit again. But that's part of the thing about it is that so for them to be so fucking hot, and that was the thing that we heard about it when they released the 7950X. It wasn't in 3D, but people were saying it runs hot, and we're like, I mean, ours runs hot. And then we saw the like actual thermal tests, and they're hitting like 70 on average. Like AMD said they run at 70 Celsius. Like we're like,
Excuse me? Yeah. I thought my computer was already a space heater. Constantly running a 70? No fucking way.
yeah, they said that's normal in 9 days hot now, and we're just like, yeah, that's what I mean, dude. This is the reason why we're so jaded when it comes to computer shit, and that's why we won't hear it from other people. He has people at his work that do the same thing. They're like, yeah, my PC will do this, and he's just like, shut the fuck up. What was it that your guy was like saying that he was trying to play on 4K with a 1660?
Oh, he was fucking trying to play Fortnite
That
or
looks-
something.
Yeah, because he was like saying, oh yeah, dude, I can play at 4K. And he's like, oh cool, what do you have? He's like, yeah, I got a 1660 and a Ryzen 3. And he's like, what?
Like 8 gigabytes of RAM and trying to run. I was like, dude, there's no way in hell you're running 4K. Well, you can 4K at the lowest settings. So,
Yeah, and it was the best thing that Kane told me was he said, I asked him what monitor he had and asked what the resolution was. He said it was 1080p and I walked away. You're not running 4K 1080p monitor. That's not how the math does.
no, not how it works at all.
Yeah, so he just, came to his hands in the air, realized he was a fucking idiot, and just
I've got some coworkers that aren't as, belligerent.
as
Well, okay, I should that aren't aren't belligerent, but aren't as enthusiastic about the PC world as we are.
yeah. I mean
Like,
that's
there's a guy that runs. He's playing Diablo 4, but he's got the Ryzen 5,
That's not a bad one though. We've agreed that that's like
No,
a
right?
good middle.
Five's not bad.
That's a good middle ground.
I don't remember what graphics card he's running, but I'm pretty sure he's getting at 1080. But he's not
Yeah,
trying to fake.
yeah, exactly. Time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
playing the game.
We have said this time and time again, though, like especially on this channel, that 1440p is the sweet spot. Don't go for 4K. You know, if you want high frame rate, sure, but the diminishing returns and stuff like that. But realistically, it's not worth it because you have to show up the kind of money that I have for. Like even yours was like when we plugged it into that, and yours is no slouch. 6800 XT, fucking 5950X, and it was fucking sweating. And you were still getting like what 60 frames less than me on some games. It was just
20, 30.
Well, no, that's why I said some games. You were like right neck and neck
Yeah.
with some too. Like we turned on Cyberpunk, and yours was like, nope.
Yeah, right.
It was like, no, no,
No thanks.
I'm good. I'm gonna take it past, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with 1440. 1440 is.
I have this worry that one of these days he's come over to my place, take a look at my computer, and just pass out because of how old it is.
No,
Is it like an off-white color? You know about this?
No, it's not quite that bad.
Okay, okay, then.
My brother actually is a computer tech. He's been building computers since he was like 12. So he helped spec it out. I just don't know what all the specs were because my brother took care of getting it all.
yeah.
So I just said, "Here's my card, go with my computer."
No, that's totally fair. Like I said,
That's fair.
well, Caden came over when I had my first one. It had 980 Ti in it. It was a little ugly little black box.
Hmm?
That's what it was. It was a little ugly black box. And Caden was like, "Why the fuck would I care to ever build a computer?" And I let him play on it, and it still didn't stick. He's like, "I think I prefer my Xbox." But then as time went on, he thought about it, and he thought about it, and he's like, "You know, this, okay, I kind of get it." And then I bought my new PC, and he came over and he played, and he was like, "This is fucking sick. This is what I want." And it was within 3 months, no hesitation. I am building my system. I'm bringing it over. Let's build this motherfucker. No joke. That's how it went.
And I'm glad I went with last generation instead of.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Because it was also 3 months before they released DDR5 and AM5.
And I told you, I said, you know, you could wait, but the benefit is do it now. And I fucking called it. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, that was the best call you ever made. Fucking was the best call I ever made.
Fucking when I tell people how much I spent to build my PC, they're like, "Are you fucking serious?" So yeah,
And it wasn't even anything.
right.
Mine does a way worse sticker shock than yours does.
Yeah.
Yours is 4. Mine is up to 8 now. Fuck. Double
Yeah.
the fucking cost. All because of that fucking 20 or that fucking 3090. Well, and the RAM. I have double the RAM.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
It's a fucking freeze thing.
Yep, exactly. God. I can love that video. It's so good. It's so stupid, but it's so good. But yeah, so Matt's kind of quiet. He's just observing and taking in.
I generally am quiet. If I don't have anything to say, I just don't speak.
That's fair.
You know how I am.
I mean, I do for the most. I mean, that's not true because you know people literally, you know, what is the word? Coerce us because we talk too much. So that's semi-true.
Yeah.
Semi-true. I mean that's pretty much me and Kate.
It also does depend on the topics, though.
Yeah.
You know, if we were still talking video games, I probably would be talking a lot more. I just, admittedly, don't know a lot about especially computers nowadays.
No, and you know what?
So-
That's fine. So there's a reason that we did it, and it's like when Caden built his PC, the only thing I told him was do research, learn your PC. But the reason behind that was, at the time, there was no wrong way to do it. 3090 was the king. AMD was fucking throwing fire. Like the 6950 XT still slaps my 3090 at some points. Like it really does, and it's fucking $800. and that's crazy. But when he was building, yeah, there was no right. You could have went Intel, you could have went AMD, you could have done anything. Well,
Music's not up.
it's just low.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just low.
I don't see.
It's not.
I don't see any.
It's not scrolled down.
Yeah, it's not in the actual like. We have different. Yeah, see.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so you're good. Don't worry.
Gotcha, gotcha. I just
But
want-
you can read the music.
Oh, I can. I just didn't see anything
It's
there.
just
so-
low because we don't want it to just blast. Make us.
It's a process.
Fair enough.
It is. But thanks.
Of course.
They say there's a few videos where we had it playing, we were just blabbing on it. It turns out it hasn't been going for like an hour.
Okay.
Which doesn't matter because realistically, our first like 6 videos were with no music, so it doesn't really
It's
matter.
been a learning curve.
Yes, we have learned how to do a podcast. Like,
But just so you know, this is a sly con we're trying to run on you to get you to upgrade your PC.
Oh, I know that. He's been talking about it since day one. First day.
Yeah.
Okay. First day him and I spoke while we were working there.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was the second topic he talked about.
That's about all this guy talks about.
I mean that's not true. I do talk about guitar. I do talk about games. I'm very knowledgeable even about like phones. Like even though you have the whole iPhone Android disappointment shit, I can tell you what the specs are on your fucking phone, and you have no idea.
I can tell you I've got 12 gigabytes of RAM on my phone, 565 gigabytes of storage.
Camera size. What's your screen?
My
What's your
screen is
battery?
6.9. My
Dude.
camera
It's dick. It's a dick. Yeah.
Shut camera.
Yeah.
Camera's like 20 megapixels.
No, actually, your camera is 120 megapixels. You fucking idiot. But
Depends on whether you're going for the front or the back.
I mean, I'm asking for the front or the back because who gives a fuck about it?
I don't think mine is actually.
It is. It's because you have the 22, right?
No. It's got the Note 10.
Oh,
I got older.
that's right. I forgot about that. I thought you got an upgrade.
No, I've been trying to talk myself into buying it, but I don't need it.
I know.
My phone runs fine.
Your phone does because you don't use it. You literally don't. Music and that's it. Answer a snap from me once a week. That's pretty much it, dog.
Yeah, I don't use my phone for a lot of shit.
Anymore, I really don't. That's kind of shocking because, I mean, even you knew me back in the day. Fuck, I'd be in Mauser pirating movies on my phone. Like, shit, it was crazy, you know? But now it's just like.
I got a company laptop that I watch movies on while I'm at work.
We're talking about movies, not porn, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, the way he said movies, I was.
I did say company laptop.
But you also did kind of hesitate when you said movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have sex with 5 dudes. I just need 4 more dudes. Yep, this is it. All right, Matt. Fine. Video games. Give us something. Tell us about something.
Yeah, pop off on a topic you do know.
Go ahead. Give us something. It's all right.
Well, we'd already talked about Diablo 4. I mean, you and I have been gaming together on that one. We've been trying to get other people to join, but, life gets in the way.
Damn right. I have my priorities set.
To be completely fair, once he's done, he'll be on like at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
Like when Revenant comes out, he's gonna be there because it's at the end of July and he'll be done with everything.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Hopefully. Oh, fuck, dude.
I know. I mean, it'll be better with practice though. So
But yeah, I am behind you guys quite a bit on Diablo.
yeah, you're like what 20, 30?
30.
You said yeah, it's something.
I'm at 30 right now. And I've done some of the story, haven't really gone too far.
We haven't either. Realistically, we're about to finish like Act 3, but I mean that was like 6 quests.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything. It really wasn't anything.
No, it took us, one evening to get.
Yeah, it took us.
I think we finished the last quest of Act 1, all of Act 2, and most of Act 3
Yeah,
in a few hours.
but it's probably because it wants you to do the story before you run it.
Yeah.
Because the story,
How it's built.
the story does lock you. We found out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It's like
I honestly just want to get to Tor Dur.
or dear, yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
but I realized very quickly because it's like, oh, you got to be level 25 to come in here. And then it gets a level 25. No, you got to be level 28. Gets a level 20. No, you got to be level 30. No, no, no. You got to be 36 now. No, no. Level 40. Just keeps going up and up and up. I'm like, oh, fucking damn, I got to do the story.
Yeah, it's because it scales to your so,
Mhm.
so that's part of the thing about it is like, I mean, there's areas we can walk through right now that are probably 60, and we're only 50. Like, it just does that, which is nice because like it's not as bad as you would think it is.
I don't actually think there are ones that go to 60 yet, simply because we can't go to the next difficulty because it's quest lock, like everything else in the game. But at least as long as we're out in the overworld or doing just the basic dungeons and things like that, the mobs scale to our level. The difficulty, the challenge scales to our level.
Yeah, they at least still,
Even
like,
if the zone is still says 50 plus, 40
Yeah.
plus, whatever it is.
it can be to the point where it's like there are mobs that are even like out level us by a few levels too, which is nice because like it makes a huge difference.
Well,
Like,
it definitely it makes it more intriguing because it's not just like, oh, I just beat them. Oh, I just beat them. It's you actually have to like, oh fuck.
yeah, well, it's well, that's so you're right.
It makes the game fun.
But what we're talking about is so we took both of our builds, and you know how Matt was when we fought the spider boss. He's not even close. Like his character is broken. Mine is totally broken.
Oh, I'm not nowhere near.
We're still in the process of breaking yours, actually.
Yeah, we're still in the process, and it is already broken. Like it is fucking. I deal 3,000 damage in like 5 seconds and cannot die levels of broken. And we're not done yet. He literally has a combined damage of like 7,000 and can disappear. Like, yeah.
Disappear, self heal, way too much damage mitigation for a rogue.
And everybody that's like, oh yeah, broken rogue is the things he stays away from. I'm not even kidding you. They're like, oh yeah, bow and arrow. He hasn't had a bow since we started.
I haven't had a bow since the spider boss. When I tried it, went no.
Like,
I tried to use a bow, and the bow skills just all suck. Now, I can get why they want to use one of them, one of the core skills. I don't remember its name, but basically, it shoots a whole bunch of arrows, and if it has a chance to ricochet and hit a whole bunch of other enemies, right? If you combine that with the one I actually use, which, again, I suck with names, sorry, but it's the one that's the frontal cone that if you have the legendary affix, it's an 80 around you. It spreads vulnerability. So, Vulnum spread that, use the other one, and when you use that bow skill, vulnerable enemies have a 100% chance to be ricocheted off of. So it will destroy swarms.
right.
I don't need that at all. I'd rather keep with the other one that I have because as I use it, when it hits vulnerable enemies, I heal. So,
Well, see, I've only got mine set up to where I've got my creeper, my 2 wolves, and my hurricane.
okay.
So whenever I get into a swarm, I just use my creeper to trap them, turn on the hurricane, and just depletes them with poison and with
He hasn't seen him.
you know.
Yeah, dude, it's just right there.
So that's all I'm set up for right now.
Well, it took a long time. Like, I literally was just kind of writing, I mean, pretty much the same build for the whole time. I mean, me and him were just doing. I know I wasn't sucking by any means. I was not sucking.
No.
But then we kind of just talked about my passes, and that's where we made you build the breaks.
Yeah.
Realistically, and that's kind of the thing that changed it. Like I said, I put the flame shield on, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna heal 50% of your health, and you only have a cooldown of a minute and a half. After a fatal hit, so after I was supposed to die, I recovered a half health and get a flame shield.
And if you don't know, the flame shield lasts in his hands. I think it's 2.6 seconds right now because of what you have. He's invulnerable and is free of all movement.
Plus, the flame shield itself will fucking damage enemies.
700 and some odd damage a second.
Yeah, it like melts them. So it's like, fucking, that's what I'm saying. It's, so if I'm getting game up one, I basically give him 1,000 damage for free, get to run away like a bitch and heal. And the cooldown is a minute and a half. That's all I have to survive for. And it doesn't get.
Ooh, I did get the werebear.
Did you?
Oh yeah, that's one of my traits. The werebear.
Off of what ability?
That is the ability.
The werebear is the actual like.
It's when I turned into
Oh,
the
I'm
werebear. I shift into the werebear.
No, okay, I'm thinking of the ultimate at the end,
Yeah.
but that's the souped up bear.
But it's gay.
Basically any werebear or werewolf ability you have, even the basic one, will turn you into a werebear or a werewolf.
Right, yeah, that's true. No,
While that attack happens in for a few seconds.
it's the one where I get to turn into the bear for like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay, so the ultimate ability?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gay as fuck.
Yeah, I can't even fathom that one.
It does so little fucking damage.
Well, the werebear is more of a tank. If you actually look at all the passives, it's all about building fortitude and having damage mitigation than more than anything else. The core ability for it is actually pretty nice. So you'll turn to werebear, you'll slam down, and you'll stun everybody. And that's the one I was telling you about earlier, where it can actually do a crap ton of damage because as long as you are healthy, 80% or more health, you will overpower. It has a counter, it counts up to 12 seconds. When it's at 12, it depletes it when you use the ability, but it's a guaranteed overpower. So overpower, if I'm remembering correctly, is based off of health and fortitude. So that's its big hit as far as I can tell. I've only played a druid for 20 or so. I'm no expert at them by any means, but
Well, I mean, I can tell you this: I don't get any of the fucking wording on any of the armor or any of that, or the fucking.
Okay, we're gonna tell you a secret. That's literally to like just discredit that.
don't worry about it.
By the time you get to 35, you will trash all of your armor within hours. I will go through one playthrough with him and have a whole new set of armor.
Twice.
That's actually what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's because the second I get something better, I just swap it.
yeah, that's what
Eventually, you'll settle on a build that says, let's say you were to go, for whatever reason, the werewolf build. That's primarily based off poison, so you'll want things that do more poison damage or more crit damage, because if you have a lot of critical in your build, or if you have a lot of lucky hit, strike, chance things on your legendaries, your abilities, your passes, whatever, you'll want to try to have the extra lucky chance on your gear. You know, so it all leveling up doesn't really matter. I mean, even at our levels, it barely matters. Really, at the end of it, what you're going to be wanting to do is getting the correct legendaries and the correct skills on your gear to synergize with your build. Until you set on a build, you can't figure out what that is, though. So,
because the thing is that like me, so I've got this armor that's like it increases one of my actual like abilities by a point, so it does more damage. You know, and that's cool. I can run through all of that and have my boots do +2 for frost, whatever shit like that. But the second I get a piece of armor, it says plus like 2, 3, 4 intelligence. That's my attack. So that's everything automatically gets more powerful regardless.
granted, you're not getting anything that has 2, 3, 4 intelligence anymore. You're too high level.
No, I've seen. I actually have come across some.
That all it has is like 2 to 4 intelligence, or the green says +2
Yeah.
+2 intelligence. Okay, that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm talking about the stat boost on the armor.
Okay, I'm talking about what it actually gives. Like if it actually gives the 10 to 14, and you now get 12 instead of 10.
I'm not talking about no. I'm not
Okay.
talking about chance. I'm talking about plus to your intelligence.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, I've been going towards an armor that's like they've got the druid legendary specific ones that boost my hurricane and then whatnot that boost like 2% more life and shit like that. But
Well, that's what I'm saying. Lean heavy into whatever does the most beneficial damage for certain situations. So my meteor is weird because it is native Eve, but it's also fucking like 1200 damage per hit.
Direct damage. Oh, and it burns them.
And it burns. And we have lean.
Sorry, it doesn't burn them. It burns the ground as long as they're standing and they take more damage.
Yes, and I have lean heavy burn. But the thing was, is I upgraded the meteor so that way the burn lasts longer and it stacks. And then my second ability is I summon a meteor 30% faster. So I basically have the snake that does this. It just grabs all the enemies in the circle. The fucking snake already does like 2,700 damage, right? And then my meteors are just boom, 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 boom. And then the burn damage stacks.
You can just hear Chicken Little.
It's like literally the thing is that like me and Matt will fight enemies and we run away from them because they're burning, but they're gonna die. Like, there's no point fighting. They're just gonna die.
Yeah, we should go to the next pack. If they catch up and catch a dagger, catch a spare
Yeah.
balls or something, doesn't matter. They're already gonna die. But
Yeah, they're because the burn damage stacks so much that like I'll take off that much of their health, but then the burn will clear the rest. But the burn is time based, so
I think your slowest burn is over 8 seconds. So
Yeah.
that's all it takes to finish them off. It's just 8 seconds of us going to the next group and fighting them.
So I got a question that I haven't bothered to look up yet. But what does it mean by like plus 12 thorns?
So thorns is retaliatory. Retaliatory?
yes,
It's damage that happens when they hit you with a physical attack. So if like a little fallen walks up with his cleaver and he smacks you, they take the 12 thorns damage that your armor says. That make sense?
Okay.
And it's a flat damage. It's nothing that scales with armor. There's no resistance or mitigation for it that I know of. It's just a flat damage. Some classes, like the Necromancer, can go pretty heavily into it, especially since some of their skeletons, and I do believe their Iron Golem, I could be wrong on that one, could be their bone. Anyway, benefit from more thorns because they can actually take more percentage. Granted, I don't know why anybody would. Then you can also go the solo route of Necromancers get a passive for more thorns, is why. So do Barbarians, actually. Sneaky bastards they are. But yeah, they're the two classes that primarily benefit. That have the passives that I know of for thorns.
Okay.
yeah. So thorns are good if you're like, if you can hit a lot and you're trying to mitigate the damage, you don't have anything in your arsenal to do that with. Because that's the other thing is that you might have something in your arsenal that might be defensive or a subsidiary. Like I can summon swords that will just fight for me, so that will give me an area to run a plate and heal if I need to. The flame shield obviously mitigates that entirely now, but as were before, that was what I would do. I would summon the swords, or I would do my serpent and then meteor things, so that way I can run away because there's something. That's what I'm saying. That gives me that chance because it doesn't matter what level you are. I'm just telling you this right the fuck now. You are going to walk into a stronghold and it's going to beat your ass. Like me, I cannot tell you how many times me and Matt, hey, a stronghold. We walk into the first area, boom, bolt dead. Like,
Granted, the
Don't do it.
first time we did that, we walked into a stronghold 6 levels below its minimum level and went straight for the first skull we saw.
yeah. But also, to be fair, it happened later on, and we were the requisite level, and it still fucking happened.
Agreed. I'm not denying this.
Yeah, it beat our fucking ass. And the thing is like that's a good thing. I know you're the type of person that's like, if I'm just gonna go through the game and beat it, that's not fun. Like I want to have my ass stomped so I can feel like there's a challenge.
Which is why we're trying to get to the higher. We're trying to beat the MSQ, the stories,
Yeah.
to get through and actually get to the higher levels, the higher difficulties. We want the game to be harder. We don't want the cakewalk.
Yeah, and you know, like Inferno, I've heard is something else, but the whatever the next one is, that sounds like the sweet stuff. And you have to complete certain story quests to progress and do that shit. So that's the thing. But the next one is like what the bare minimum is 60 or something like that. The bare minimum is 60, and
I think the one above where we are is 50 to 70.
Yeah,
The one above that is 70 to 100.
yes,
I'm pretty sure there's another difficulty setting somewhere that I haven't seen yet.
no, that's all.
I swear I saw a 6-1 online.
That's all of them. That is.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So if we manage to beat enough of the main story quests and get up to 71 while we're still, I mean, right now you're almost 52. I just hit 52.
Oh, I want to tell you this as well. So once you hit level 50, you unlock Paragon. And Paragon is basically a whole new skill set, but it's like permanent boost to your stats. Like your intelligence goes up, your strength goes up, your defense goes up.
Your damage goes up by a percentage, your defense goes up by a percentage, your health goes up by a percentage. There are more Paragon boards, if you will, and there are legendary. We're still on the first one.
Yes.
There are legendary Paragon gems as well.
Yes.
I haven't looked up all of their effects.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like what legendary gear has done for us, they're going to have a significant impact.
But, and this is what Matt was laughing about, they are 5 times the level. We literally leveled up 250 in the first 30 minutes of playing. We have played for,
On a single evening.
yes,
Let's clarify that.
but we have played for 3 days and have gone up 2 levels.
Yeah.
Like dead serious, and I mean we are talking fucking killing everything that we come across.
Now, I'm not sure if that's the reason because it's a ton more experience crammed into every level, or if because we hit that threshold in the difficulty we're on, we're just no longer getting full percentage experience. It could be either, it could be both. But after you hit that, you're, as far as I can tell, you're not no longer going to get any of the basic skill points anymore from leveling. You can still get them from the other sources that the game allows, such as if you open the world map and you go to a region and you do side quests, strongholds, and all that stuff, you get those points, and you can get those. You can get 2 skill points for every region. That's 10 skill points right there. But as far as leveling goes, you'll no longer get any of the standard skill points.
Which is fine because you can point.
Oh,
and eventually you're just gonna have like, is money a problem for you right now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 5 billion gold. Like, money is not a fucking problem.
I don't have that much, but
I know.
When you get higher in there, you get gear worth more. So I didn't sell anything. I think you said at one point you had 2 million gold. I was sitting at I think 23,000 at that point.
Yeah.
Because I was breaking my gear down and stopped selling it. I said screw it. I took the next hour, all the gear I got for the next hour. I sold it. I was up to 1.5 million.
And it's because of the fact that like all we were doing was we were doing the whole enhanced thing. But the problem is like it is literally like grow your own underwear. Like it's that worthless when you break it down because we would have like especially the legendaries that we put the money into, they would be gone in 1 or 2 playthroughs, and so it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason why what he's saying is like we were like break it down, get the enchantments, get the better armor, but then something would come along and just blow it out of the water, and we can't enhance it anymore. So we're like,
I've had yellows replace golds.
yeah.
I've never had a blue replace it, thank God. But I've had yellows replace golds just because
They're better. So like that's kind of the thing about it is don't worry about the armor aspect because it's going to get just so mundane that it's like once you find something you like, take it. Once you place it, yeah.
scrap things, but that's only so I can get the outfit unlocked.
That's a fair point.
Just so I can get the look unlocked.
I would recommend as well if you ever, or when you start to get legendaries that you just don't need, don't sell those, scrap them to get the legendary components. Those are more rare.
They're actually so rare that they can only some items can only come from those components.
So even if you sell everything else in your inventory because you need the money, scrap the legendaries to get their legendary components.
Okay. Because especially with you though, because you don't rely too much on weapons. It doesn't apply. That's why I said too much. He's not like me. I was like, that's everything. But that's why I'm saying that. See, like me, the thing is I said my armor. I was specific because of that reason, because I will go through like 2, 3 full sessions and not find a new wand. So I will put the resources into upgrading like my active wand because that's all of my time. That's everything right there. And I just won't get a new one that's better. I'll get one that's a piece of shit, but
yeah,
that's the thing.
Leveling up, if there's a particular piece where you're like, okay, every stat of those is good, I want them all. It's actually a legendary, has a legendary affix that I want. Let's boost that one up so I can keep it just that little bit longer. Feel free.
Because
I still
a little bit longer with emphasis.
I still wouldn't. So with a legendary piece, you can boost it 4 times. I wouldn't go past that 3rd time where you're spending more than just what you get from yellows. So
okay,
just because you don't want to use any of your legendary breakdown components on something you're just going to break down in potentially 5 minutes or 5 days, depending on what you play. So
because it is that bad. Like you will come across armor that basically boost all the stats that you have, and they have like almost a 90% drop. Like it's insane the shit that you'll come across.
These, especially fucking weapons.
What?
Weapons for me, I find a new one like every 5 feet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. And so I upgrade my wand. I don't. He does. Like, he gets bows up the ass, but he doesn't fucking use
I
them.
hate bows. Well, okay. So
That's why I was specific about you. Don't
I
fucking
hate
use them.
bows. I fucking hate them. I love crossbows. Hate bows.
Yeah,
See, but with mine, I don't even really use my hammer.
that's
I can
fair.
only get the double-handed hammer and the double-handed axe.
So when you look at the piece of gear, it has the basic stat of its DPS, its how much damage it does per hit, and all that stuff, right? That will affect all of your skills, even your spell casting skills, because that goes into your base damage. All of your skills are a percentage of your damage. So that's why weapons for all classes matter.
And I also want to jump in with that too. Pay attention to intelligence. Don't just go for straight damage because with magic, intelligence is what rules that.
His is wisdom.
Okay, whatever. They're not the same. That's the thing that kind of got me all fucked up in the beginning. Is damage is not plain and simple.
If you open your inventory screen, you'll see the four stats below your character, above your inventory. If you hover over them, you'll see what they actually govern.
Alright.
For you, wisdom governs skill damage and something else. I can't remember what it is. So that's another way to help figure out what you want to do to build your character.
Right. Because that kind of breaks it up too to help you. Because if you're like, this increases your base damage, that's going to increase you going like this to something, but it's not going to buff your magic.
Yes, it will.
It will.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
All skills, whether they are range, magical, physical, flame shield, fireball, meteor, fire snake, starry night, whatever the heck he has, you know what I mean? Whether he's casting wind, lightning, turning into a werebear, all of that is based off your percentage of your damage. They've simplified that to make it so that way you only have to try to boost this, not boost this and this, depending on what you're trying to do. So,
That makes sense. There you go.
Alright.
but don't be afraid to change your build. I've gotten skills. I've gotten legendary fixes that I had no idea existed because I didn't research and try to break in metagame. I've just broken the game as I go along. But don't be afraid to change the build. If you see something and you're looking through your skill tree for the 13th time that day because you're bored, and you see something that sounds like it could potentially be good, try it out. It's only gold to respec. It never takes anything more, at least as far as we've been to.
No, blow your money on respecking if you're going to do
And
it.
it's cheap to respec. I think I can respec all my points right now for like
Done it
40,000.
a few times.
Hmm?
And then I run into the ones that this is one of your core abilities you can't.
There is, yep. Yep.
So you start with your basics, right? When you have 0 points out of however many you have spent, right? You have to spend 2 points to get to your core. Now from there, you have to spend 4 points to get to the next tree. Those 4 points can be either spent in your basic, in your core, or in any combination thereof. So you can have 6 points in your basic skills, 0 in your core, and your third tree will still unlock.
Okay.
Also, if you're running into the issue that he was and didn't realize that he was, some armor actually has bonuses to skills, and it'll actually, if you hover over, it'll say, the skill is level 1.
But it'll be blue.
And under it in parentheses, it'll say armor granted skills levels or something like that. So that's, if you're trying to take something out of that's something that you think you should be able to, check and see if it's an armor granted skill.
Okay. Because that's what it is. It's just you just physically don't have a point because of armor's granted you. But you will be able to sync everything to 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should be able to, if it's not that case. Because we were trying to do that for me, because there were skills that I just needed right away. I couldn't figure it out. And it's like, wait a minute, what are your armor granted skills? And we figured it out, and I was like, oh, that's stupid as fuck. but no, so that was one of the things. But no, you can go with any one of them in the sudden right? As long as you're reallocating the points, it doesn't count. It's about the points spent, not about where you spent them.
Exactly. I'm going to swing back to Paragon levels real fast. When you do finally hit 50, you're going to see that the bar changes a little bit, the XP bar. There are these little gems on them, 3 of them, I believe, every 25%. When you hit those, I believe you get a Paragon point. So every Paragon level actually gives you multiple Paragon points. And then obviously when you level, you get another one, and then it sinks back and you level up. There are skill gems, like on the first Paragon tree, there are skill gems that are yellow, that have, when you sink a Paragon point into it, you get its first skill, and then it says when you have a certain amount of stat. Like I have one that says when I have 170 170 intelligence, I get an additional 5% or 10% damage. But until I have that intelligence, that second part of it is locked out. I don't have to spend any more Paragon points, but I still get that first part, which can continue with the tree. So,
Okay.
pretty easy stuff. There is a lot of, again, looking at your stats, figuring out what you want your character to actually do, and trying to figure out the best way to go through it. You could look online and figure out what people want, but as I said, I was curious one day to see how people built rogues, and I looked at how they build and went, okay, they have part of my build here, part of my build there, and none of my build there. For the abilities that they were saying governed my build. They weren't building it the way I do.
And people are swearing that the way that they're building it is the broken rogue build, and it's not even close.
So I haven't looked recently. By recently, I mean in the past week.
It's the same.
Okay.
It's
I recently changed my infusion. I tried poison, I tried shadow, I went back and forth. I stuck with poison for a while, especially since poison had while enemies are poisoned, I had a 15% damage mitigation, but I still poison them with my traps for 10 seconds, which is easy. So I switched to Frost. Frost doesn't do any additional damage at all. It just freezes things. With 1 point sunk into it, every hit freezes chills 25%. At 100% chill, they freeze. My core ability hits 4 times. So I hit the button, they freeze, right? I did not realize this. He suspected it, and until I was able to actually try it out, I wasn't able to confirm it, but I can now. Stunning abilities, staggering abilities, freezing abilities, all those things contribute to that little blue bar in the boss that stuns the crap out of him.
Yep. I said something like
when we first started playing,
yeah,
like within a week of when we started playing,
yeah, I just knew it, and I was like,
I'll try it
I
out.
don't know about that, but I'll see. And yeah, no, it literally does. I was correct, and it's just because of that like intuition about. I played a lot of video games. I know how this works. I know what that does. I just don't know how to do it yet. And that's like I can do that, but I can't. Yeah, we can confirm. 100%.
Yeah, especially since I now have three different abilities that will add to that bar. You know, it'll stun, or it'll. Actually, no, I have 4 because I can slow them as well.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he's telling you about the slam ability that will contribute to that, because that will fill that fucking bar up.
Oh yeah, that slam ability does stun enemies as well for a second and a half or a second and a quarter, and it's an 80. It's a PB8 point blank area attack. So.
But that's the thing is that so for bosses, you do that and you'll see that blue bar go up, and once you stun them, they're down for like I don't know 5 to 10 seconds. It just really depends on who the boss is. We've come across bosses that are down for a long time. We've come across bosses that are like, "You hit me? Okay, I'm getting back up now."
Yeah, we run into those.
That was basically the fucking siege.
Yeah. Also, when you get to the ultimate passive, I know for a fact there's one on a druid where if you are a werebear for 2.5 seconds or a werewolf for 2.5 seconds, you get 2 different things. Werebear increases, I believe it's your attack damage. Again, it's all attack damage, not just physical or magical or werebear attacks. It's just attack damage by 15%. And if you're in a werewolf form for 2.5 seconds, you get attack speed for 15. I think it is actually 15 seconds, both of them. So you could, I'm not sure if you have the werewolf heal, you could pop that, wait 2.5 seconds for it to pop up, slam with your werebear, wait 2.5 seconds, and then go into your rotation. And then once they're off cooldown, or you get to a boss, or you can use that passive as a cooldown type deal is what I'm saying. So
So yeah, that werewolf shriek or whatever it is gives like 20% life back or something like that.
yep, exactly. It's 20% health, and I forget what else it does. I'm gonna rephrase that. I forget what its middle gem is. I know that you either can get increased attack speed or you also get 20 of your energy back. By the way, I hate druids for that. Every other class in the game will passively regenerate. Some slower than others. Druids don't passively regenerate.
Not unless you have a piece of armor or
Yeah.
something that does it for you.
But that's. Remember, I said I have a druid of 20. I was just trying them out to see what their skills were like. Yeah, I said screw the increased attack speed on that one because that energy, having that topped off at the beginning of any given combat, just yes.
Yep.
Hey, Winston. Because he's the hero.
Winston? No, he's a necro.
Oh, he's.
No, this guy's the druid. I wonder what Matt's gonna play. If he plays barbarian, it's just be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Because Matt's good from whatever.
Yeah,
Matt's good.
I've never seen him game, so
So, I mean, I can understand that, but yes, that. You know what I mean. He just has
that mindset.
Winston, that was. We have this kid that we work with. That's the guy I was telling you about. That's like retarded. I don't know. But he, he was like, "Oh, fuck, dude, so good. I broke my bill. Blah 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 blah."
Him and I are dying, by the way.
Just fucking like, just blah blah blah. He gets on the server. Man, this is kind of kicking my ass.
And he gets in a party with us, and as you know, the more people you have, the harder the enemies are.
But we also
Why
have
would you-
difficulty up.
So
Like, he got his ass handed to him. He's like, "Oh, I'm over here fighting by myself." Yeah, and
dude, I do that all the time.
then we were doing a main story quest where the enemy's health was like this much, and then it went down to like this much, and it ran away. It's like, man, we almost killed that thing, and we're just like, what?
Since you can actually see full bar, right? Enemy's health starts here. We took it to here.
Like,
We didn't touch the damn thing. We laid into it for a solid 2-3 minutes. We didn't touch the damn thing. It wasn't for damage output. You're not supposed to kill that enemy. But yeah.
yeah, we couldn't fucking touch it. It was just,
Apparently he didn't realize that it started with quarter health, and when you knock it down to 16th or 8th or something like that, it runs away. So he thought he'd kick its ass.
hey, man, it's about time, man. We're doing good now. We took it, and we were just like sitting there like, Winston, no. No. That's not how that is, man. That's not how that works. I felt so bad too because he was just so proud of his fucking druid. Fucking proud of his necromancer. I shaky king for a second. Whatever, but yes, his necromancer. He's so fucking proud of his
You
necromancer.
should take that as an insult, just let you know now. He's mistaking you for Winston.
Yeah, I'm mistaken character. Shut the fuck up.
The bosses we're fighting now, though. So do you remember back when we were level 20, level 30, his level? The bosses, we could stun them maybe once through a fight. We stunned them 3 full times before they die now. They have so much more. One bitch who had the 6-way bone spears and all of.
Yep, that was annoying. She was just
She managed to kill me!
yeah, she was just a chick too. Like just a fucking person.
Mhm.
She wasn't anything special. She just had a scythe that was made out of bones. Don't touch my research. Like that was it.
Yeah.
She's just fucking crazy.
And
Like,
she kicked our asses.
like all I hear is just this, "Oh my god." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I am down." And I'm like, "You're what? You're what?" Like he hasn't been down in a long time. Like
At that time, I don't think I had been down for at least a session and a half, if not more. I have a skill on my bar to pick his ass back up because he goes down more than me. He's damn near invulnerable.
I don't anymore.
You haven't since you got that skill. That is
Yeah.
true. No, I take that back. You have since you got that skill only on bosses and only when they fuck your shit off. hard.
I
It's
I-
very
yeah.
rare. Since you've done that, you've gone down twice that I can recall.
And I do this. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do the snake, so I have just this like segment of spells that I do, and it's just one after the other. And the funny thing is I activate snake, I have my swords out, I do frost, and then I do my meteors. And I'll just do all four of them, and they'll crank in, and you just watch the health bar go. Boom, 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 boom. It's just so fucking funny. Because
Yeah.
it's like, these motherfuckers are supposed to be hard. They're really not that hard. Well, the story bosses, they're really not. The side bitch, she was a whole other level, but we found this wretch that was like this sea wretch. We had to go way out of our way to find her and shit like that.
Oh yeah, the sea hag.
Yeah, the sea hag. But the thing was is that she wasn't like fucking a bitch to fight. She was just a tank. Like she
She
didn't
could
hurt us.
take
Yeah,
hits.
she didn't hurt us at all, really. But we fought her for 15 minutes. Like, at least. And it wasn't like she was teleporting. That bitch was back and right there. Like, you could see her plain as day. And we're just like, when is she gonna fucking die? Like, what the fuck?
No, it wasn't a hard enemy. It was just one of the ones that you find. I don't even know how we found him. It was just out on the overworld map. It was some skeleton. We killed him. Just straight up murked him, right? Like we do. Fucker came back with 3/4 of his health. Just pop right back up 3/4 health bar. Did I see that right? Kill him again. You had to come back. You had gone.
Yeah.
He came back. We killed him again, and we stood there and we waited. Pop back up. Health bar. Now I want a fucking main story boss to do that, and get stronger with more attacks every time.
We're gonna have to fight mommy eventually.
I know. What was that one meme? Something about mommy hold my hand or something?
Yeah. You know, when fucking Lilith puts her hand out and says join me. Oh, someone made a meme that's like, but where's the option to grab the hand? No, mommy has a point. I'm like, yeah, she kind of does. It really kind of fucked up, and now my fuses with blood. Like, I don't know how to take this. Yeah, I know it's funny, but I mean, you know, and that's the thing is like me and Matt are kind of speculating too. You know, I mean, obviously we haven't finished the story, so there's no spoilers. But like, why are we getting power from Lilith statues? Why are these specific things happening? You know?
Oh yeah. I threw that one out. I'm like, okay, it would be great. It's great. You go through the whole game, you get no little statues, she's weaker. You get them all, she's all.
But that's the thing, though, is that's not the case because we found out what the purpose of it was. Because it is tied to your prayer weapons. They will lock you behind if you want to, which is cool, I guess. It makes you explore. Also stupid, but yeah.
To clarify on that, most of the little statues give some sort of stat boost 2 at a time to whatever stat. It's not random; they're actually scattered. And you know, this one is always Dex, this one's always Intelligence, this one's always Open Wounds, or whatever the hell those are. But that one I was talking about, that yellow gem, where you don't get the secondary effect until you have enough stats, that's what he's referring to. You need enough stats. And while you will eventually, especially when we hit the higher levels, and actually level up and get the higher gear, I happened across one screenshot where someone had like 5, 6, 700 of a stat. So we'll get up there eventually. Again, we're still on the first paragraph.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because we're at that point where it's like me and Matt, he's talking about it too, and I'm like, you know, it's the kind of shitty thing. It's like I don't want to push through it. We know how many chapters there are. Like we know what's ahead of us in a way, but we also want to do as much as we can. So once I beat the story, I'm done. But that's okay because, like I said, you can get to like the higher difficulties and stuff through the storyline quests. You don't have to be beginning. So as time goes on, we can crank the difficulty, we can do different things, get different armor and stuff like that. That's not going to be the problem. I mean, for fuck's sake, we were sitting talking about it. We probably have 60 hours on the game. That was all that. That was all finding the map. That was all that was. We hadn't done a single fucking quest, period.
And the 2 of the 3/3 past the initial part where we were trying to explore the map. So that was me going, okay, yeah, we're going here, we're going here, we're going there, we're going there, with very few stops in between.
Yeah, like I said, we did no quest unless we somehow picked up an item that just took us to a town. That was it. That was
Or an item that said kill as many of this creature, pick up their souls or something.
if we were like,
And we happened to be doing that. We didn't purposely go to the area. Matter of fact, we still have one.
yeah, yeah. And so that's kind of the thing about it is like we get how the game wants you to play it. We need to do it that way. What it wants you to do is it wants you to rush into the story because it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be a challenge because they are level. If you go in there as a 50 and that fucking story level quest is a 30, that boss is going to be a 30. And it's disappointing. And that's one of the things Matt was bitching about because the last boss that we just fought, the fucking scythe bitch that he was talking about, that was a level 47. And she fucking kicked our ass. And so that's the point, is that it's designed to make you go out and grind. It's designed to make you do a main map. It's not going to let you go into it and go, I'm going to do storyline because it's going to fucking kick your ass. It's just how it's going to work.
No,
What
granted,
about side quests?
Or do side well, side quests don't give as much experience as combat does. It's more the strongholds. The strongholds are where it's at.
strongholds are great.
Get the strongholds.
Yeah.
Stronghold side quests and just killing everything in between.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why Trevor and I wanted to go out and get all of the waypoints is because of the world events. We wanted to have access to be able to go to something that pops up on the map, and when that bar is almost full, hit the teleport and go up there.
Because it sends you fucking everywhere.
And we actually did one. It was one of the minor ones, not a world boss, which we still have yet to do.
It's a
Oh.
lot of events.
Yeah, it was an event to basically spawn a crap ton of enemies in Millennia's area and the fucking temples of Rod. So
He doesn't know what that is,
Yeah.
So.
okay, so yeah, it was in the Temple of Rod area, and it spawned. Basically, imagine you walk into a dungeon with like 18 people, and the difficulty was cranked for 18 people.
And imagine everything that you killed in that dungeon coming at you all at once. Like we're talking legitimately 30 enemies.
Yeah.
In a single area. You had to move to the next one, not just like that was fucking crazy.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fucking crazy, but that was so fun.
That
That's
was
why we wanted the world boss, but the problem with the world boss is motherfucker had a 30-minute wait list, and we're like, we're not gonna sit here for 30 fucking minutes.
the thing that I really dislike about the world bosses. Maybe I don't have a setting turned on or something, but I couldn't find an icon on the map unless you're standing on the world boss. You can't be in town or across the map and look at the map and go, oh, it has 15 minutes left. I'll do something else. 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, you look at it, okay, I'll get over there now. I can't find anything on the map. You have to be there to see it. And then, I don't know, set a timer on your phone, set a kitchen timer or something.
Because it was, like I said, it was like legitimately 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it was no joke, 29 minutes and 30 seconds. And we're like, no.
Yeah, we can do a crap ton of exploring. We did in a half hour. So,
I kind of just said, whatever, it's fine. Fuck
yeah,
it.
we still want to do one. We want to see one, of course. I would love to see it on the hard difficulties, though.
I would just love to see what the boss is. And I'm sure the world events are going to be.
So, my understanding, and I know nothing about them, my understanding is there are like some sort of super or maybe trump up dungeons on the higher difficulties that you don't have access to on the difficulty we're at right now.
See, but what if it is lesser? What if that's the boss? What if that's what the world boss is? That could be possible. That very well could be possible.
That would be a lot of fun, honestly.
That's the reason why I said that. Because
I mean, I doubt it, sadly.
I don't, because of the fact that there are more lessers than there are greaters.
True.
And-
If you go by what the dialogue so far has told us, though, there's only 4 lessers versus the 3 greaters. There's only
Yes.
7 total.
But how many lessers have we fought in the story quest so far?
1.
What's his face did not count as one.
What was he? I thought he was. What was
Astaroth. He's not a lesser. He was. He's not a lesser.
Hmm.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing about it is he wasn't a lesser. I don't think the thing he was fighting was.
No,
That's contemplative, but
I'm pretty sure that thing wasn't.
that's what I'm saying. We haven't faced one yet. We're going to. I know we're about to because of the quest that we're in, but
Right, I'm getting those quests mixed up.
yeah, but that's part of the thing that I'm saying is yes, we are on the verge of facing a lesser. We only have 4 more chapters.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to face all of them in 4 chapters. They have to happen somehow.
Um,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't even be fucking surprised if they put a greater in one of those.
oh yeah, I love it. Are you kidding me? That'd be great.
So that's part of the reason why I say that is because just the timing and stuff makes sense. No, I have not looked through synopsis of this. I want to really bad. I don't know what happens, but at the same time,
We just need more hours in the day to be able to play.
yeah, the progress that we're making is like. I mean, honestly, if we just buckled this weekend, we'd be done.
Yeah,
That would be it. Because the story quest goes on. Like, we went through Acts 1 through 3 in 2 hours. It was nothing.
unless Act 4, 5, 6, 7, however many there are,
There are,
grow exponentially.
there's
Yeah, it's gonna take nothing.
6, and then nothing.
Okay.
So, that's why it has me intrigued, is because of the epilogue. Which is fine, but 6 we face Lilith, so what happens? Yeah. Which, like I said, I mean, that's not really a spoiler. You know you're going to fight Lilith.
Yeah,
It's the fucking thing, you know?
she's the big bad from the very beginning.
Oh, why is the that? And like I said, if they bring Diablo back, they're going to fucking throw everything out the window.
I told you, it's the namesake of the game.
It should have been Lilith 1. Because I don't want to fucking see Diablo again.
Mommy-
I don't
Mommy
want to
one?
fight him.
Oh, you mean after he's been imprisoned, destroyed, turned into something else, fallen from the high heavens, and destroyed?
Yeah. And then comes back and he's going to fucking cakewalk no matter what difficulty that we're on. Because he always is. He is the most disappointing boss, final boss in all of history. Always has been. Except for one, if you put it on for the that's a whole other list. That was designed to make people. But 2 was easy. 3 was easy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
3 was he had 2 attacks. He went and had his fireballs. That was all he did.
he had his cages as well, but those were so easy to avoid.
Yeah.
He had his interim phase if you didn't kill him fast enough, which was still easy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I just, sure, maybe he deserves a redemption arc. I could see that. But, I mean, if it's,
Redemption as in he better be damn hard this time.
he better fucking make Lilith look like nothing. And Lilith was already starting to look like something else from the fucking pain in the ass. Like, against all odds, all the shit that we talk about succubuses and resistance and shit, Lilith is going to be a motherfucker. I already know it.
You remember that fucking boss of those 3 succubi? Kicked our ass the first time we fought them.
Because they're confusing. Because there was no set rules about it. That's why. And that's part of it. And that's what I'm saying. Lilith is going to have all of this in spades, and her key attack is going to be Hellfire. That is all she's going to have. She's going to melt us because there's nothing in the game except for Ethereal that is defensive against Hellfire. That doesn't seem to be present in this game. It doesn't seem to be.
Poison is broken from the enemies and shit like that, though.
Yeah.
Over time damage, I specifically have skills and armor set up against pure damage mitigation and overtime damage, and I still melt from that shit.
Yeah. So that's why I say, like, Hellfire is just that on crank. So that's why it's kind of intimidating to think, like, what are we going to get to mitigate it? How are we going to mitigate it? Or are we just fucked?
Better to dodge.
Yeah. Well, you know she's going to have a full arena AoE. It's just going to happen. There's no way she's not going to. She's going to get pissed off, Hellfire the entire fucking arena.
After she stuns us for 10 seconds.
Yes, like, yeah, she's going to have that instant. She's just going to. And so, like I said, Lilith is going to be a motherfucker. Why is there an epilogue? Like I said, I don't have these answers, but that's interesting to me. That automatically makes me happy that I knew what was coming, but there's still more to it.
Mhm.
That there's going to be something else that's going to make me hate everything. I wish I was fighting Lilith. But it's fair. I mean, that's what I mean. At the end of the day, I think that's why this game is garnering so much attention, is because for the first time, Diablo is being fair. It is either break the difficulty to the max, or you don't have a good time because it's too easy, or like 3, it just sucks.
Mhm.
This one is, without a shadow of a doubt, catching people's attention because it's like, we're not going to let you worry about difficulty. We're going to let the world fight you. And you're going to take it as it comes. And that's how it's going to be. And that was the best fucking approach by game design that they could have made. Like, period. Like, everyone was so skeptical. And it is a fucking good game. It is a really good game. We got Tears of the Kingdom. And, no, I'm just saying, like, this year we have Jedi Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom. We have all these heavy hitting games. And if Diablo isn't in the Game of the Year talk, I'm going to be really shocked.
Is Nintendo's acid-based Mario game coming out this year?
Oh, God. Yeah. That's not going to definitely. No, that's not going to get Game of the Year talk.
No, but it is going to be fun.
It will be.
Especially if you turn it into a drinking game and have 4 people over. Those kind of side-scrolling where you can
Yeah.
dump people down holes in crap games are already pain enough.
Oh, yeah.
When you're completely stone sober and actually trying to work together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Throw ego, competition, and alcohol into the mix. Oh no, that game's gonna be
It's gonna be fun. No, honestly though, like I don't know why, but that Princess Peach game, I think it's gonna be something. I don't know why. I think it's gonna be because Nintendo knows she deserves it.
Of course, I'm actually really looking forward to the remake of RPG.
That one is gonna kill.
Yeah.
That one is
If it's the exact same game, just
prettier,
newer. It sounds like they have new music on it as well. But it's the same soundtrack, just better. I still remember the Booster's Tower theme. I used to listen to that on repetition for weeks on end. I love the soundtrack of fucking Mario RPG. You know,
so if they do that, they'll have a slam dunk. I mean, and that is one of the only Mario games that is like it's about time.
Right?
Years.
People have been asking for that for years.
Yeah, like I mean, Super Mario World is fine and dandy, but I mean, you can get emulations of it and stuff like that. RPG was just so rare, you can't even really get an emulation for it or anything. Like it's like
I have one.
Yeah, but it's rare.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to find.
Specifically, had to look for the damn thing.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the other thing about it is, as far as like that comes to mind, nobody fucking played it because it was one of those weird off Mario games. It was a cult classic at the time,
but hands down, it's one of the best damn Mario games I've ever played.
And also, to top that off, it's so legendary that people nowadays are like, I want to play that. And then you're like, it is 30 years old. And you're like,
I want to play that.
Like, I physically can't. And then they just are like, okay, here you go.
I mean, they could have remade that game 3 times. This could have been the 3rd time they remade it. They'd have made money every time.
Yep.
Every single time.
Re-release, remake, whatever.
Every 2 or 3 Nintendo systems, they re-release it for it. Updated graphics, updated audio. Same game.
Yep.
Same mechanics. Chaos at the end of it if you want to do the optional boss. Same game. Yeah, they would have made money every single time. Copies would have sold out.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like, how they're doing like the remakes of how they did The Legend of Zelda. What is it?
Just say Wind Waker and piss them off real fast.
No, I was thinking of Wind Waker. I'm talking about the one that they actually did.
Are you talking about Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening. I keep thinking Link to the Past because that's actually my favorite song.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Link to the Past is my favorite song.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
So I'm just making this clear, just so that you're aware. He's not a Zelda fan. Not even.
Okay.
He said he's tried. He's not into him. He doesn't really.
It's not for everyone. I get that. Everyone has their own personality differences, of course. Just because he's wrong.
Man, I just never get it again. All it was Point Break.
And that's the thing too. Is like I can understand. I mean, it's like Mario games with the same thing. To some degree, you can shit on Mario games because you're not wrong by saying they are fucking simple and made for children. They are.
So much so that when my nephew was 4, he was teaching me things about a Mario game I didn't know.
Yeah.
that I had 100% completed.
That's what I'm saying. It's, and so there is a statute for that. But my point being is that with Nintendo games, you know, they do the right things, but I feel they do the wrong things. I mean, I'm not bitching about Wind Waker. I just feel shitty that it's technically tracked on the GameCube because no one bought the fucking Wii U. So that's what sucks. And there's no backpack buy on the Switch, which they should have done, but they didn't. Because then there would have been Twilight Princess remaster. There would have been a Wind Waker remaster. But I think the thing that really irritates me is the fact that they know where they have good franchises and they refuse to do it. What the fuck is Metroid Prime 4? They announced it 6 fucking years ago and no one's heard a word.
They released another side-scroller Metroid game, I don't know, a year or so ago.
Okay.
Now, it's not Prime, I get that.
No, I want to be perfectly clear with this. It is called Metroid Dread. It is the best Metroid game I have played since Super Metroid.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm not fucking playing with you.
I now own the game. I played the demo. And I damn near almost bought the game on the spot.
It was so
The only thing that stopped me was what you and I have discussed before. I didn't have the time for another game at that point.
Yep.
That is the only thing that stopped me.
Yeah.
I played that game and I went, wow, it's a side-scrolling Metroid. If you've ever played Super Metroid, or any of the side-scrolling Metroids,
he's having fun.
fuck, you're young. Okay. So this could be a little nostalgia because of the side-scrolling Metroids. It's not. This really was a damn good game. It basically take what you would expect out of a 3D game nowadays, how smooth it is, how pretty it is, how all the abilities actually work together, and turn it into a 2D side-scrolling game. So
okay. Well, actually, no, it's less about that. So what it is Metroid did technically not even start. And I know you're one of the few people that can actually verify this. Metroid came out and it was not like Metroid is now. No. So that's the thing is that is something that only really hardcore people know, and it's strange because it's just different. But anyways,
granted, if you try to play an NES game now,
you
may as well be playing on difficulty 12. NES games, there were a lot of limitations to the older consoles, NES, PlayStation. Like for example, Silent Hill. There were a lot of limitations. You know this.
He's wrong. It was about money because they would offer these games in arcade cabinets and they wanted you to pay more, so they increased the difficulty so you would pay more money. That is really what it amounted to.
Fair.
I mean, and like I said, what you're saying is valid, but the reason it was hard is because they wanted you to put them more Best Buy. They wanted you more for a Blockbuster. That's what they really wanted.
So yeah, games like TMNT games where they were arcade games.
Those were so fucking fun though, especially the one that was like the Super NES versus Mode 1.
You remember the freaking old Simpsons arcade game?
Huh?
That's fun. Anyway, Metroid is not what it is now. Nowadays, Metroid Prime, as he said, those ones are first person, 3D. Enemies everywhere. You got to use all the abilities from a first-person perspective. The original Metroids were side-scrollers. They weren't like Mario side-scrollers where you went right and you couldn't go left anymore. They were full-map side-scrollers. Think Castlevania. It's also why they're called Metrovania sometimes.
Yeah.
Where you had to go between the different areas. You had, areas. You couldn't go into certain areas because it was too hot, too cold. It was underwater, so you needed to get the gravity suit. Stuff like that. You need to, in the case of Super Metroid, you had to figure out how to use this one item to boost off of this other item to be able to spin jump all the way through the air to get over to this energy tank.
But that's the thing is, so basically,
think a simplified bloody track plan for that kind of crap.
But basically, what we're saying is that it's you take all the kids that were raised, had the Metroid games that were super good, then they just basically turn out okay games for 20 years, and then they come out and go, here's everything you guys have ever wanted, just
that you've been asking for,
just on a plate.
2 decades,
and they did it right. It's not like, oh cool with the frame rate. No, it's a smooth fucking game. I am surprised at how smooth that fucking game is. That was the thing that shocked me too. And it's not like it's a bad looking game. It's a looker. Even by our PC standards, the game looks good. I'm shocked by it. But no, Metroid Dread.
Mhm.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was a. I actually almost 100% completed it.
Damn.
I'm talking everything. Yeah, I almost 100% completed it. The only thing I didn't was there was this one. It was a rocket. It was a rocket booster that I watched the video for, and it was like. It was essentially the neon white video shit, but on crack. And I'm just like, I'm not doing that. So
First time I got locked into one of those rooms with those assholes, by the way, I was not expecting that.
that's true as well.
Uh,
I mean, I wasn't expecting it. No, the thing was, with Metroid Dread, I liked. The one thing that I really liked about it was that the game threw you in, and that was all fine and dandy. But then you get to the first boss, and it lets you know I'm in an old school Metroid game because you're going to die a lot.
Mhm.
And that was the thing for me that made me go like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I enjoyed it, is because it was an old school game, not just in its feel, but in its difficulty.
Like it legitimately was just so substantial to the point where to get the thing you needed, there was a line of text that someone said that told you what to do. Like, it didn't give you shit. It didn't give you a fucking thing. Like, if you missed that line of text, you were looking for it everywhere.
Yeah, it wasn't a here's a blinking dot on a map, get here. Nope.
Yeah, no.
Some of the bosses just quite literally catch you out of nowhere because you'll enter a room and go, oh fuck, this is a boss room. Turn around to exit, and it's locked.
And then you are in there until you beat that boss.
Yeah, you're in there till you beat it or die.
That's it.
Hope you didn't walk in with low health, because there are no health pickups for the first half of the fight.
And that's the thing, is it was super fucking cool. And you know, that was a good game. I will absolutely agree with that. I think one of the best moves Nintendo did too, even though it's not exclusive, was put Cuphead on the Switch.
I never actually played that.
Cuphead is one of the games that you should never play because of your sanity. Because literally Dark Souls players will not play Cuphead because it's too hard. I'm not fucking with you. We did a challenge just recently that is recorded.
Why would you bring that up?
Because I had
I
to.
want to think about that.
Psychological damage is why you bring
No, it was actually physical damage.
It was both. It was both. So what we did after we lost,
It was just a
with
challenge.
the damage.
liver damage.
No, beat the first boss. That's all we had to do. Beat the first boss.
No, we had to beat it within 3 tries within 15 minutes.
Which is fine because they're quick boss fights. We got stumped. And the bet was to take a straight shot of olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil. I have never been so close to absolutely regretting everything. Like, put me in jail. I ain't gonna learn my lesson. Make me drink extra virgin olive oil. I will stop what I am doing and repent for my sins. Like, there is a shot where you can see Caden go, like, he almost puked on the floor. Yep. Like,
Come guys.
and Doug does that shit every morning. I can't fucking, like, he's a fucking tough motherfucker. I'm like, you're funny, but
People's intestines are just built different.
that
I
was
don't
just
think I've ever had to fucking shit faster than after that fully lubricated system.
man, you know, it's like that's what a car feels. That's how a car feels on the inside. Yeah,
I never want to feel like that on the inside ever again.
no shit, dude. No, it was bad. And no, what made it worse was we took the shot, and then me and you were just like, for like 20 minutes, and then we go, we need food. Okay, let's go get food. We ate food. We could feel the food sitting on top of the oil, and we're just like, oh no, oh no. He's like, yeah, I didn't thinking about it. It's like, oh no. Oh no! But that's how hard Cuphead is. We went to the first boss and lost spectacularly. It is tough. It is actually a motherfucker.
I'd say we need to do an addition, an addendum to that one, or I would give that a try. But I'm pretty sure the sight of a shot of extra virgin olive oil sitting on the desk waiting for me to lose would give you PTSD.
No, if only you did it. Me and Kate.
Just the sight of it.
Me and Katie would just be in the back room laughing, knowing what you have to go through. Like that. Like I said, me and Katie, nope, we laugh at other people's pain. We're fucked up like that. We can see it and be like, man, that's going to suck. I feel what you're about to go through, and then you'll be like, I can win, and then we'll be like, no. No.
There is a word for that, or several words for that, but I do know one of the words for that. Schadenfreude.
What?
Taking pleasure in other people's pain, effectively.
I'm so confused. Caden looks like he just discovered sensuality. I'm like, he's like, I just learned something new about myself. No, that was masochistic. Like, we didn't even know we were gonna hurt ourselves.
Bloody Trapland isn't.
I can turn the game off anytime I want.
But you
I-
want to, that's the problem.
No, I can't get the fucking extra virgin olive oil out of my body once I put it in there. That shit stays. That's the
It'll
problem.
come out at its own rate.
Oh, when it comes out, buddy. I'm telling you. Fucking turd slip and slide. Shit is fully lubricated and it just is like. There's no ass cheek touches. There's no fucking sidebars. The bumper bars on that bowling alley were taken off a long time ago.
It was fucking 20 years in prison.
Just slips right out. I would do 20 years in prison versus. You're like, God. It's bad. It was.
The addition of the 4 a month there is what got you.
No, it was just thinking about it. It's really just that. Like, I can't describe it because it's somewhere between, semen and syrup. It's not good.
And tastes like dirt.
Like, literally, it tastes like dirt. Like, if you went, that's it's so fucked. But like, we're like, fuck it, I'll do it. And me and Kaden are taking shots of shit that should have killed us. That all almost did.
Yeah. It's the texture for me is what I couldn't get down. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was like if we made you do it, that would be fucking great. I would take so much pleasure in your displeasure. But
But I feel like that's
knowing that you deserved it because you accepted the challenge.
Okay.
If it was just to hurt you, I wouldn't feel.
See,
it's not hurting.
here's the thing is I feel like that makes it a good thing to bet on though.
Oh my
Like,
fucking
Because
god!
now you know how much it sucks and how much you don't want to do it, so that makes it a good consequence.
See, like even back in the day, like me and you, if you don't do this, you have to take a shot. We'll take a shot before we have to take a shot because we lose. Like we don't give a fuck. But shit like that, like if someone put a fucking shot of extra virgin olive oil, I would be fucking putting my life into whatever I had to do, so I didn't have to fucking do it.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even think it was going to be that bad of a consequence to our
Fuck,
bet.
yeah, like you're looking
Yeah.
at it like
It's like, okay, it's extra virgin olive oil, whatever. It's just a shot, not that much. No. No.
we could do the losers of the Mario Party tournament with us to take a shot. Extra virgin olive oil.
You'd have to get the significant others to agree to that, though.
Okay, Abby would do it because she's all about fucking voodoo witch health shit. She'd be like, sure, why not? Alyssa probably would not. She would say, you look like you were going to throw up for this, Jay, so I'm good.
Okay.
That's why every time we don't include our significant others because they wouldn't do what we do. Legitimately.
Yeah. And I know for a fact I'm going to lose.
That's not true.
You're gonna be the sober one, man. You have an advantage over us just that alone.
Because I mean, what,
Sorta.
you're coming over at 7? Dude, get real. Like, we're going to be fucking shit. We're going to be shit.
I'll be over here around 7 as well. You'll just be here 12 hours later.
So, there's. But, mean,
That one season sucked.
oh yeah, it is. But at least we won on Monday.
That Wednesday. If half the shop doesn't call out, I would be amazed.
If half the shop isn't come over, that's exactly what it's about. Just dead serious.
I know some of them won't be. I know Robert will be stone sober.
Oh yeah,
It's Robert.
yeah.
Alex probably will be sober. He's not a drinker.
He's sober. He's high as a fucking kite, and they're like, "What?" Yeah, sober. Yeah, and you're talking about people in the upper offices that have salaries. Let's talk about on the floor. Damien's gonna be fucked.
Damien's one of our shop leads, by the way. Oh yeah, he's gonna be hung the fuck over.
Damien is like
Shane probably won't be, believe it or not.
Shane will be. He's already said he is giving Liddy 250. He doesn't give a fuck.
Aaron might die.
Aaron,
Long rifle. Long rifle might die.
I can only hope. Aaron Stinson is probably going to be in number 2. Because he has to feel because now all the kids are like. But that's
Because he's finally 21.
because I mean so far the plan is I mean I don't care when you guys come over, like I said, whatever. He's working this, which why he's keeping up with it. Unfortunately. Otherwise he'd probably be over for a good chunk of the day. But because no, we really do. Like he comes over, it's been a tradition for like 3 years now. It's been quite a few years since we started doing it. Miles was weird because you came over and said, yeah, so we've done it with July here for like 3-4 years. We always dig fire pit, always good grills. Just I usually dig fire pit.
Fire pit's already dug this year.
I'll show you after we go through it.
Yeah.
Digging a fire pit. Actually, I haven't dug a fire pit.
We probably need to take some of the dirt out. The rain washed a little bit in, I saw, but not much.
And to be fair, 2 years ago was still the funniest because Chris Bob was over. We were all fucking belligerent, and he almost caught himself on fire. That motherfucker gets such fuck. Like he gets stoned to the bone, dude. I am talking. This motherfucker is so high. You could ask him what his name is, and he'd be like, to the bone, dude. That's why he's so good, though. He was just so lighthearted, and he's cool as fuck. Chris Bob is cool as a motherfucker. Since we went and saw him, last time I talked to him, since we went and saw him, and we were just fucking stupid.
Yo,
That's we were fucking dumb. You think we didn't even know what we were doing? We're just like, yeah, yep, dumb as fuck. And Chris Bob was like, hell yeah. That was his catchphrase. Chris Bob, you like men? Hell yeah. He's just cool fucking dude. Chris Bob is fucking Chris Bob.
Am I hearing that name right? Chris Bob?
yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
At first, I thought you said Christoph.
No,
Chris Bob. Okay.
Chris Bob. It is his nickname. I couldn't tell you what his real name is, but it is Chris Bob. It is always named Chris Bob.
All right.
He started it for Raw because we had a different Chris. That took Preston over because he was actually functional. He was Chris Bob. And then Chris Bob went to work with him in his job, and he was like, I got this fucking stoner here. I'm like, is his name Chris? He's like, yeah. I'm like, make friends with that motherfucker. He's cool as shit. He is. He's cool. He doesn't just fucking shit. He doesn't do anything. He's just fucked up all the time. Like, I mean, at any given hour of the day, it could be 6 a.m. That motherfucker is done. You know?
All right.
I respect it because that commitment, man, that level of commitment is expensive. I'm just saying. But, oh man. That's because we don't do that much stupid shit like that anymore. Because we got skateboard and then I fucking busted my head open.
Dude, my fucking wrist still hurts.
Yo, like a week ago, up my fucking neck, I was getting the worst headaches I ever had in my life.
Were you talking to Aaron?
Crippling, shut the fuck up. Crippling headaches, and like I couldn't stop it. Like I was rocking my neck. I was doing everything I can. I was going to bed in just miserable amounts of pain. I'd wake up and I'd be awake for an hour. Call the doctor. They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have like side effects for the next like 6 months." I'm like, "You say 6
Months?
I don't give a fuck if it's 6 weeks or months. You said 6 months, motherfucker? What?" I was like, cool. Yeah, because he ate shit too. He actually ate shit pretty hard. I just ate shit the other way.
Yeah, I ate shit going forward. I ate shit going backwards.
See,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I
That's
saw the staples.
what you didn't see the accident.
No, I did not.
He saw the pool of blood and the blood in my hair, and he was like, oh shit.
I saw Trevor's head turn into a bouncy ball.
And
A red one at that.
It wasn't quite red. Like I said, that was the impressive part. Because he was like, Joe, are you okay? And he did the fucking eye test to make sure it didn't fall his finger. And he's like, you're okay. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like I was out of it, but the thing is me and Kate talked about it. Like we were outside. Like we were probably easily just dehydrated. Like straight up, that was why I was fried.
Mhm.
Like it was so hot outside that the blood on my head dried before we got down the road to the hospital. It was that hot.
Damn. Okay.
So that was a big part of why I was losing. But I mean, I busted my head up. Like there was blood running down my shirt. It was legit. And so that was the thing. But Caden was all fucked up. His arm was all bruised and shit. And he's like, this fucking hurts. This kind of hurts a little bit. But I like I said, I'm lucky he was there too, because fuck, that kid would have just been like, fuck man, oh shit. Literally had to go see his mom. So I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was literally it too. That's why that's funny. But
Why were you out with Aaron?
no, it was a kid. Like Aaron
Oh,
probably
yeah.
heard him. What? Let's not go there. Stop saying things that are kind of true. Okay, first question, no names. I heard this rumor is confirmed by like 20 people. He went up to a chick that works at the same place that we do and said, "Hey, you're kind of pretty. You know, they have websites for girls like that. They do stuff for money. I'll support you." Want to know why he didn't get fired? His mom is HR.
I'm just saying that because in the last year, I've had a coworker get arrested at 3 o'clock in the morning because he was a pedophile.
I mean, that's very, very.
A 36-year-old in a relationship with a 15-year-old.
Yeah, keep it there.
Got charged with like 15 things and it's going to be in prison the rest of his life. He's currently north.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
I mean, good.
Yeah. Good.
Especially now that you're a stepdad, that probably rings way more true because you're like, I would fucking kill someone.
Shit, dude, I'd kill someone over a taco. They're not gonna fucking die. No, they're gonna be tortured slowly.
I would kill someone over a taco. See, this is the reason why I say the shit that I do. What's one of my key sayings? I want to punch a baby in the throat. Yep. Everyone in the shop was hearing that now and they're dying and laughing and saying it because I said it and they're like, God, that is vicious. I'm like, just a baby and just a throat. One punch. That's all I need. And they're like, God damn, dude. I'm like, not really gonna punch a baby. I just want to. That's why I'm
That's
expressing.
fine. I tell the baby to her face that I'm gonna punch her.
And then they're like, why don't you punch a kid? I'm like, because a kid will fall. They're like, no. And I'm like, they have legs, they can walk.
As a kid can recognize face.
That too.
That's a legitimate reason.
That is a legitimate reason. Yeah, babies.
Babies won't.
Legs can be broken.
I mean, legs can be broken, but that's defeating the purpose of what I want to do. It's just a throat punch. It's just, I just want to punch it in the face. Lord, man, you can do it. You can do it. What, Mom? Oh my God, that's fucking funny. What are we okay?
Oh, 144. Almost 145.
Okay, that's pretty cool. got anything else to throw out there?
Been that long, jeez.
This is how our podcast goes. Like, we're not even kidding.
It's how they should go.
Yeah, that's why we say we're tired. They work out so much better. If we were fully
Chill mood and just grind it out, just fucking talk.
we've me and Caitlin discussed it. It's because we're already in work mode,
Mm.
so it's easier to do it. Like, well, like I said, when we wake up first thing in the morning, like I fucking let's sit here, jerk off for an hour, fucking go to breakfast, and then we'll be like, fuck. It's like without fail too.
Like, hey, before we do anything, gotta go get coffee, gotta go get some breakfast. It's like, oh shit, it's been 3 hours, we haven't done shit.
And the only reason that's a problem is because his girlfriend will be like, "What have you done today?" Well,
We usually try, we'll usually grind out 3 episodes and then find 2 of them are fucked up or can't use those ones.
You see, the answer on that one is I've laid the groundwork to progress my day the most efficient way I can. Just spin some Bowman.
no,
It's not going to work this
No.
anyway.
nope, 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 not even close, not even close, nope. Because when we should be productive, we're fucking not. If we're deadbeat tired and want to stab somebody, we're fucking productive.
Exactly.
Loose Open Humanity, good episode. Banger. We get like 50 views. Fucking wake up early in the morning, get G Fuel in us all ready to go. We're like, you like men? I think I like men. And the Kane's over there like, Dick's good. And that's the episode. And we're like, what the fuck did we just record? You know? Every time, without fail, it's just fucking literally walking the stereotypes when it comes to shit like that. But it's funny because, like I said, we get to watch back some shitty episodes and be like, no, that's not going up. Nope.
I don't watch any of our episodes.
I know. I meant when we're like preview.
Oh, I mean,
That's what I'm talking about when we get to be like, ha, that's not being
even
posted.
then, I still rarely see them because I don't upload.
You know,
This guy has to.
Yep, I do. Shit. That's part of the reason why it's so rare that
All the editing, whatever. We hardly edit any of our shows.
OCL gets it.
OCL podcast.
Podcast sometimes.
There's been a few OCL songs that have been edited.
Well,
Sorry,
that
I don't
those
know that acronym.
Overclock Life. That was our subsidiary that we like to do because those are A, C, B, 20 minutes a piece, and C, if we have a 9-hour day, we can bang out like 12 episodes.
Okay.
Podcast, we can manage to. Like,
Yeah.
8 or 9.
OCL's like the hobbyist little tidbits.
We can do that all day and not be burnt out. We record podcasts all day and we are burnt out after the second one. He goes home and
It's like, all right, you know, I can't talk anymore.
Like OCL, pretty much like a single topic type thing.
no,
Like a big chunk.
it's kind of like just, it's not even that, it's more interactive too. Like, he brought his PC over and we'll go over blocking software, microphone.
We've got that 4-part series of us taking it apart, and we did the thermal paste on it, and we changed out the power cables,
Okay.
showed cable management, all that kind of thing. We did do it over one where we showed overclocking on the GPU. There's one in the works that we're gonna do a custom keyboard.
Yeah, that was in the works because Caden was just curious about the hobby because he likes, like, at first he's like, whatever, I don't really care. Because he got the Wu-Tang 60HE is basically just cheating on the keyboard because it has a 0.1 millisecond latency. Like, impossible latency. And a release of 0.4. So it doesn't wait for the whole key to actuate before it stops. Like, if you let off at all, it stops.
Okay.
It is.
You can set it to do it right then, halfway up. It'll release it all the way up. You can set it to where you only have to push a quarter of the way down, and it'll actuate halfway down. It actuates something else. All the way down, it'll actuate something else.
So that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so and that's what people know. It's just it's a company that said we can make a great gaming keyboard. It's fucking
Pretty much.
They're not even custom at all. But like this one is custom that we have for the Mac. That one is custom that I have. There's one that I have in the closet that's kind of custom. It's just kind of one of the ones that's like a Frankenstein. But it's the concept of it. It's kind of cool because when I showed King, I was like, try these 2 keyboards. And he's like, I like this one a lot better than I do the other one. I'm like, yeah, it's entirely different. Plus, it's a statement piece because it's something that's unique to you, and that helps because like we do look for stuff like that. Like I said, he's got a fucking 49-inch just monstrosity, as if that couldn't make your setup individualized. You know, his cables are custom. Like he likes to do shit like that. He likes to have the theme. So we've talked about a custom keyboard. That one is in the works. The fucking headphone one was actually super fun. That one was one of the funnest ones that we did. Easy. But anyways, yeah. No, so as hobbyists, we just try to imply what he like is, you know.
No, I was actually trying to see what the time was on it.
It's like
Hour 50 or so.
Yeah.
Hour 51. I was just trying to see where it was, and I know that he looked up there to find it.
yeah, he said 140 a minute ago, but no, that's the thing is like in between the hobbyist thing and stuff like that, we've kind of tried to do chunk size ones that are super easy recommendations, microphones, stuff like that. Because even if we don't own it, do good and stuff like that, but it can vary depending on thing to thing too. Wildly even. Like custom keyboards are one thing because you limit it to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because of the boards that you can buy. But switches are entirely different. Keycaps, you can get anything keycap you want. They make Doom keycaps. They make Persona 5 keycaps. They make colorful keycaps. Wearing black ones like that. And they're just wildly varied inside the set. They're really interesting. I hate the hobby. It's too fucking expensive. But it is literally a hobby that I can sit down and do, and at the same time, I'm not fucking buying cars, so I'll accept it. Because I would never spend about as much money as I would as an object. Even throughout the
So that's what my setup looked like.
Past tense?
It obviously has moved to a new house and that's but no, that's part of it. But what I was saying is that the fucking headphone one that we did, that one was fun. That one was actually really fun because we learned new shit about our own headphones.
Right.
That one was super like strange. I didn't think that yours could be like tuned the way that we tuned them. That was the thing that surprised me. Like mine, we knew what to expect, but once we fucking threw that shit on yours, and we were both like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what the fuck?" That was cool. Like getting rid of that pitchiness and shit.
Yeah.
Still, HD 200's reigning champ. Surprisingly enough. But that's what I mean, headphone game, we're heavy into that. He's basically got mine. So he's got just a different model of a Hampton DAC without the stack. It's just a limited. And then he's got I put quotation marks on this lesser variant of my headphone. Well, I say it for a reason. And we wanted to put him head to head because his headphones are like, they could be had for $150. My headphones are $700. So there's a big gap. And what we came across to the results was mine, if tuned correctly, there's no comparison, but they have to be tuned in order to do that. So we took the bare bones sound of both of them, and his headphones actually just flat out. They're clear, they don't have the same punch, and they can get a bit pitchy depending on what we're playing.
Right. So mine have more of a higher frequency to them, and his have the lower frequency with more bass sounds in them.
And but that's the thing. So if you gave mine just a little bit more edge in the treble department, they're basically his but with bass.
Right.
They're really really good and they're really, really nice. But as a bare bones, they're muddy. And it's strange because you wouldn't assume that. Like they're just muddy, like you said, they sound like they wet socket. And they're $700 headphones. But that's kind of the price, you know, and especially Cade's been into audio for anyways since before I knew motherfuckers and car audio and shit like that. So it's not like he's unfamiliar with it. But that's the thing though, is he has Sennheiser headphones and we know the experience. They were my old Sennheisers. I gave them to him because I upgraded set. But with really good headphones, and so that's the thing, is like we also wanted to kind of dissect what is the proper cost for good ones. Because we look at Aaron's decks all the time too. There's this one by and I know you're laughing about it because we still look at it, but there's this one by a player called Epo that is all in one. And I mean all in one. I mean I can hook it up to power the fucking speakers in my living room. It is $800. It has a screen on it. It can power my computer, my stereo out there. Like it is super, 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 super. But that's the point. It's $800. His setup is over $3. So that's kind of the reason why we go into stuff today, like, because one of our main topics, especially on the plot life, is you don't need to spend money to get good shit. Like we preach that on all of our things, computers, microphones. It doesn't matter what it is. You don't need to spend a lot of money to get good shit. Obviously, there's going to be compromises about cameras. We even acknowledge that good cameras, you get the money that you pay for with them. But that's just kind of how it is. Monitors, those are definitely one of those middle grounds. It's like, sure, you get exponentially greater things with more expensive monitors, but the middle ground is so good that those compromises don't seem worth the price. And we've said that thousands of times. Like Caden said, he's used to ultra wide. But if you never knew what ultra wide was, you'd be fine with 1440p. And 1440p is what, $300-400 bucks. I think we bought a monitor, still not cheap, and it had all the things his had: 240 hertz, 1440p, 32 inches.
There's a lot of games that downsize. They don't support ultra wide.
And so that's part of the thing. Like mine is super great, but it's a 4K 240 hertz monitor. Even my GPU will not run games at this. And it's just because that is a lot to push.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, you know, what do you really need versus what do you really want? Because the thing is his is a dual 1440p monitor set. So we went ahead and tested it, and we have put both our PCs on that monitor right there because it is a 144 hertz 1440p monitor. Both PCs, his and mine. His is entirely Ryzen, mine is an NVIDIA Ryzen hybrid. There was nothing that didn't cap the frame. Nothing. Not a thing. Nothing that we played. Ray tracing, not. It didn't matter what it was. Our games just flew. And that's part of the thing that we also talk about because he has a 6800, he doesn't even have the top end. He's like 2 tiers down because it's 6950 or something, right?
Well, now they've got. Well, yeah.
I just meant in that generation.
This generation is the
70 STI, some shit. But yeah, no, so his is just 2 tiers down from the top. But that's the thing though, it's like, where is a good middle ground depending on what you play? Like you were telling me you play a 1080p, right? And that's part of the reason why your 1080 TIs are working out so well, is because you're not pushing resources. Now, when you get up to 1440p, that's kind of where it gets to be a complicated measurement because, so you have a 1080 Ti, so that means you have 12 gigs of RAM total, like VRAM, something like that. I'm sure you probably don't know that.
I don't know off the top of my head now.
But anyways, you have 12 gigs of VRAM. He has 16 and I have 20. And there are games where we can make use of that. Like it will allow us to check out. When like Cyberpunk, his topped. We got his to top it. I remember. And mine, I've got up to 18 on 5%. And that's part of the thing is that, but that's just, we've talked about also graphic settings, but that's assets and settings and ray tracing and inclusion, shit like that. We've also talked about how Lumen affects shit because it's a subsidiary of ray tracing and it looks really good. Like it made fucking stupid fucking. I'm thinking of it. What is it now? Fortnite. Yeah, I made Fortnite look really good. Like really good. I'm not joking. This is not a joke. Caden can even attest to this. It looks really good, and it's because of just a couple of things. But that's the thing. Is like as you get assets and certain resolutions become outdated and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure, like me and Caden talked about this. 1440p is a sweet spot because of the way they're going. They're going to phase out 1080p soon. And it's going to be a shit show, but they're going to do it. And the reason they're going to do it is because everything is so powerful nowadays. They're like, you know, to the next thing. It's okay. You can do that. And not going to get into it, but Samsung is making a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor that is two 4K panels stuck next to each other. It is an 8K panel. Nothing on the market right now, a fucking 4090 can run 8K. It is impossible without any sort of upscaling. Impossible. And sure, we might get to the point where that technology is, but do you have a concept grasp of resolutions at all?
The most basic and fundamental.
So it's basically just a
Don't learn today.
yeah, Caden has a lot to say about it too. He's just as fucking upset about this as I am. But you know, you have one pixel that displays one color, and that pixel is spread throughout. 1080p is like 100,000 pixels. 1440 is close to 700,000 pixels.
Okay.
4K is 2.4 million pixels. 8K is 27 million pixels. So, if you could guess what are the two downsides to what that would be.
I think heat and processing would be the two that I would think off the top of my head.
Actually, that's like literally wrong, surprisingly enough. No, okay, I can actually tell you the one major one.
Can I?
Oh yeah, 8K panels. Why 8Ks? Stupid.
Well, I have my reasons why it is stupid.
I mean, it's still one of the valid ones, though. You're not complaining, that's what I'm saying. What are the problems with it?
Oh, well, so the biggest thing that I see the problem with is 8K is the highest resolution that our eyes can even perceive. And for the fact that you'd have to have
7 inches.
well, and it's the distance because the amount of pixelation you have, you'd have to be sitting 20 feet away from that monitor to even be able to perceive it, no matter the size of the monitor. On top of that, what he just brought up was the 70 inches. Have to be 70 inches or more to even have it matter.
Our human eyes cannot physically conceive 8K total pixels in such a small, dense form factor.
Isn't that what they said about 4K as well when it came out?
No, 4K, no. 4K was, 4K was just, people were having a hard time telling what it was, but there's reason behind it. Did you know there's actually 3 forms of 4K? There is the 2500 by 1600 4K that they tried to pass off. There's the standard 3840 by 2160 that we all know, but there's actually a 4020 2160. That is true 4K. We rarely get that because it's a lot of pixel push. You're slightly right on processing, but no, it's about the fact of a graphical engine would need to process 21 billion colors per frame per second. That is what it amounts to. Because, you know, it's fine to change all pixels, it's fine to change however many pixels, but the problem is that once you get to the billions, and then you're getting up to, what is that stupid monitor's refresh rate? Isn't it 240? Like that fucking 8K one? That dumb.
Yeah.
That's 240 times a second. It is changing 21 million pixels. On top of the fact that our eyes cannot even conceive it. Because it is so small. There is such a thing as pixel density, and that is something that me and Caden are very strict on. That's why we stick to Samsung. Their pixel density is fucking like you can't find a blind spot in his. It's hard to find. Mine's 4K, so it's impossible even then. Because that's the thing about 4K. Another reason why people are saying that it was one of those things that we can't conceive is because 4K should be 55 inches or bigger for our human eyes to conceive.
Mhm.
Because we just can't process it. It's too much information confined in one area. So that monitor, literally, the only purpose that it serves is anti-aliasing. Because 4K mitigates anti-aliasing for games. That's part of the reason why that's a benefit.
And the color correctness.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to get to the reason why that monitor I got. The reason that I bought that was even I don't know if you've ever seen a monitor side by side. Definitely not one compared to that one. We had his monitor. His monitor is an IPS Samsung, same thing. He has a couple of the same games I have. We loaded the same game up. His is orange. It's not red. You don't see red on an IPS display. No matter how much you think you do, you don't. And it's because of bloom. Bloom is the excrement of light that you get because you have a backlight shooting through your film
Mhm.
and then goes through your color, however they do it, depending on what the technology is, because it's all fucked up and complicated now. But you will get in excess of light bleed. If you look at an IPS, just anything like that, if you really look at it, those edges are black to grayish.
Mhm.
That is from the excess of light. That one, you will not see that.
So you were showing me the difference between that monitor and that one, where you're showing me the depths in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep. Like I said, try. Yeah, and that one you can't see. You physically cannot see. And that's part of what it is. And the reason is because they shrunk the LEDs down to such a small size that the bloom is not a problem anymore. But they can still get bright.
Mhm.
So I'm sure you're aware of OLED, right?
Not by name. I know what you're referring to. I think.
OLED is a panel type, and so me and Caden are like strictly agreeing on the fact that OLED is superior to mini LED with a caveat. OLED is notorious for burning. It will leave ghosts in the PC. It just happens. It always happens, no matter the TV, the monitor, whatever it is. But the other thing that me and Caden depend on is brightness. Like he doesn't have his cranked up, but he's seen a dim monitor before, and he's like, nah, nah, dog, that's not it. We actually game not based off of resolution but contrast. His is great for contrast. Like I'm not downplaying his monitor. His is a fucking fantastic monitor. All jokes aside, it really is. That one is only better by the slight deviation that it's a mini LED. If that was an LED, it would not be a better monitor. Period. It wouldn't be. We've said this several times. If it wasn't mini LED, it wouldn't be a better monitor. We want mini LED just ultra wide or upgrade generation. He wants his in a mini LED that doesn't have price. They released one, but it was that's why he didn't need five. Because it had too many issues, too many returns, because it was basically the first generation. But the contrast that you see makes a difference in the games that you play too. So you play a horror game, you're looking at gray, ooh, shit. It's dark, makes a difference. It's all about the small immersion factor. But that's why we also tell people like, if you're not into that, get something within your means. Get a 32-inch MSI. Get a 1440p LG. Get something that is just going to do the things that you want it to do without having too high of expectations. Because, like I said, my monitor was $1,700. His was $2,000. And yeah, that's the point. And when you break it down, for what? And even me and Caden acknowledge these things and say, we know we have gimmicks, but there are 200 other monitors out there that can do the exact same fucking things as ours. And when you break it down, that's part of it is people are spending too much money. That's why I was talking to people about building PCs and shit like that. Like Josh Sorensen is actually looking into buying a PC now, as I told him he doesn't have to spend an arm and a leg. And I said, go here, check it out, start it. He's like, I think I found a build. I'm like, no shit. He's like, yeah, really. I was shocked. Like, it doesn't have to be that hard. Me and Katie have, like, we went onto PC Bar Picker and built both the best budget PC and the best dream PC. The dream PC was fucking, no, I mean, like, it was $25,000. Yeah. No, but the budget PC came in under $1,400. It will play pretty much any game at 1440p at least 100 frames. And we just like to debunk that, especially considering that and in both of them dealt with stupid people that are just uneducated, and so that's really what derivative the whole thing from. Is we just got sick of it, and we're like, we're at least gonna tell people how to do this shit right if they're gonna fucking have anything to say at all, because
Like, let's tell people how we've done it wrong.
that too, because it has been learning curves for both. Like I had to teach him from the ground. He was like,
Yep.
show me. And he just legitimately did. He's like, I got all my parts I'm coming over tomorrow, show me. And I did. And it was 2 months where you had it figured out. And then it was longer than that because, he had his setup. He said it goes for it. Said, your mouse matters. And he goes, no, it doesn't. Like, that was the biggest thing for him to get through was the mouse. Because I said, the mouse you get matters. And then one day he broke down and he goes, okay, I want to buy a different mouse. And we looked at mouse manufacturers and shit like that. And I pointed him towards this one. It is the mouse he still uses to this day. Fucking loves it. Like, and we've gone over it, and he's tried. I've had 3 different variations of mice since I've known him. He's tried all 3 of them. And he goes, no, I don't like them. I don't. My one that I have now is the closest one to the one that he likes. It just doesn't have buttons on it. If it did, it would probably be his next mouse because my mouse is way more expensive. Like, it is designed that way. But that's the thing though, is I also paid $170 for my mice. He paid $70 because you got it on sale or whatever. Was it $70 or was it like $90?
I don't know, between 70 and 90, somewhere in there.
But that's the thing.
So I can tell you right now, my keyboard does WASD and R. Any other buttons dedicated to my mouse.
Okay.
He's that guy. But like I said, at the same time though, he put the money into a keyboard because I said that also matters. But after the mouse, it wasn't even a question. He's just like, which one should I buy? Said, if you want the fastest response, get the Wooting. And he did. Well, he ordered it like almost on the spot.
I just like their lateral
Yeah.
fucking keys.
Like, it wasn't even fucking a question mark. But that's the thing though, is like, but on top of that, that's where it also crosses into that. This keyboard you're looking at right now, $400. He paid $150 for his Wu-Tang and it beats mine. That fucking microphone you're looking at right now, is that a Shure SM7B, which is the most popular streaming mic on the market? No. Are we only going to use that microphone because of how good it is and it's only $130? Yes. Studio will only have the XLR because they're just that good. We'll probably only use Wave XLRs too, and it's because of software. Huh? No, I said the Wave XLR, the microphone interface. Not the fucking iPhone.
So you said we're just using all this Elgato Wave shit. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Wave as well, yeah. No,
it's the face cam that often are we?
but that's what I mean. But see, that's why we say there's a little bit difference in camera quality because cameras are. We've been looking at cameras for a long time, and we found one, and it's the face cam, or not the face cam, but it's the. I can see the fucking thing. I can't think of what it's called.
It's a 360 cam.
But it is a 4K 60 camera. Cameras that are $3,000, which is why it's so grounded, and it's tracking, and it's just super great. Like, we've looked up things, has no returns. It's just costs $300. So that's the next one. But that's what I mean. Spend the money. I preach it all the time. Past that though, that's basically what the top item is about. It's gonna eventually be stupid, fucking dumb adventures if we can actually go outside and not get hurt. But because that almost turned into a vlog. That skateboarding day was really close to turning into a vlog.
I wish it had.
I wish it didn't, because I didn't want that day to exist anyway. but no, that's what we do on HDL. It's super nice. The podcast is just that. We talk, we have conversation, and we have to do that. But that's the thing, is like, the problem with the podcast is that once we finish, we have to hard reset for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're overlapping your topics from the one before and all that.
And we're really good at it. Like, if you look at the consistency of the uploads, like some of them you could tell we're in the same day. We are really good at starting over, but it takes a lot of mental power just to shove everything that we just talked about 2 hours out the window and start all the fuck over again. And then by the end of it, we're both like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to go home and die.
And that's why Alyssa hates you. She's like, after you're at Trevor's for a fucking few hours, you don't talk, you just come home. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to fucking talk anymore. I've just been talking for fucking 4 hours.
And this is the thing though, is the reason that we do this though is because as friends, this is what we do anyways. We made the podcast because this is literally what we would be doing.
Sitting around chit
Oh.
chatting, doing whatever, music
Yeah,
games, shopping,
We'd have,
building crap.
we'd just be sitting around chilling, just having beers, just hanging out,
Like that's literally what we would do for just a little
bullshit and talking shit. So
Yeah.
like, hey, let's just get it on camera.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like that's why it's not too exhausting to the point where we're like, nah, we shouldn't do this anymore. Like we both still want to do it. We both are still motivated to do it. Absolutely, that's why we make plans to get together, even if we're busy. Because yeah, we do enjoy this at the end of the day. We don't enjoy the grind. It does burn a little bit, but at the same time, we think, and then we're just like, we're gonna do this shit anyways. So it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, so we did like
We're gay, it's okay.
gay in the wrong way. Oh god. Choke. Oh,
I guess, has he been introduced to it?
no,
Why?
Why?
it's like his favorite band. Like he flew to Germany to see them.
Okay.
I mean,
I enjoy the stupidity of it.
I mean, like, let me be completely frank with you. They're probably the most unique band that is out there right now.
Okay.
And I mean that like wholeheartedly.
Not my favorite, but yeah, they're fun.
Oh yeah. They basically took dance music and like death metal and combined it together. Like in the worst way. And that's why it's great. They talk about chicks, fucking getting drunk, that's it. Their music videos, they're holding little penis bottles, like everything to them is just 100%. And it's great. That's why they're great.
And some of it's in English, some of it's in German. It's just chaos in a bottle. It's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Yeah. It is something else. We do like different kinds of
There
music.
goes our music. That is what we're gonna call it. Alright guys, thanks for joining us. We're gonna call it for the day. You have anything else to add?
I'll do the extra one, so fuck you guys. We'll see you guys next week.